Right, I'm screen recording here on my tablet about this reawakening of my case out of Natchitoches, Louisiana. So here are the old hearings. This one cost $1,200. This one, these, let's see, have various sizes. The cheapest one would have been this one, maybe $150, $200. This one might have been $200 to $300. All these others probably, at least $150 each for Shanita Gostin to type up into a transcript and send to me by paper. I believe not even PDF, had to rescan it to PDF. They make it as difficult as possible, and that's just unfortunate. So I'm going through this all over again with a new judge, Judge Barber, and he's apparently tougher than Judge Owsley. What's going to happen is Judge Barber will come down to Natchitoches from Shreveport and sit in Judge Owsley's chair and do the exact same thing that he did. Judge Barber was chosen by the state Supreme Court. They chose judges out of a hat at random. Louisiana random. Let's call it that. We'll just put in Louisiana before anything that sounds fair. I'll say it was decided in a Louisiana fair way. Why couldn't they have chosen a... Oh, man. What do they call them? The mayor's court? Why couldn't they choose a mayor's court judge? One of them small town judges where the judge is also the mayor. They exist. They're legal. Why not choose one of those guys, huh? Bring them down. Instead they choose Judge John or whatever, Brian Barber. And he's got all this information in my file. My file has all of these transcripts that I'm sure he's going to sit down and read thoroughly. The most important one is the trial transcript. But, the hearings can give some insights. Whoops. What happened there? Let's see, photo. Alright. Yeah, I want to go over the trial transcript again and get familiar with it. Let's see, we don't have the list of witnesses outright. Oh yeah, we do. Okay. So, we got a witness list here. Where is everybody now? Do we have a year? This was back on April 2022, and my lawyer won't meet Judge Barber until May 2024. So it'll be over 2 years since this trial date. So where's everybody now? Is Cloyd Benjamin? Let's see. Is Cloyd Benjamin still around? Let's see what... I'm sure he looks different now. Yeah, he's way at the bottom of this list. Is Cloyd Benjamin still around? because he's been my prosecutor now for over 2 years. He's my longest running prosecutor, my most expensive prosecutor. Prosecutor has put me in jail the longest. Prosecutor who I've had to pay bail, the highest amount of bail ever. A prosecutor who I've taken all the way to Supreme Court and now back to City Court with a new judge, because Judge Owsley, let's see, Judge Owsley has recused himself. There he is, Judge Owsley. About the same look, right? Same sound. The Harmful Judge Owsley recused himself. But Clyde Benjamin will not recuse himself. I have a picture of him somewhere with a chicken wing. But not this one. So he offered, his offer has been and always will be, I have to plead guilty and accept the mercy of the courts. And I mean, even before appeal and even after appeal, and now that it's back in Judge Barber's court, which, I mean, with Judge Barber, I don't have any pictures of that guy. He's Judge Barber. He's not even elected. If you look at Ballotpedia, which I think is pretty reliable, he's not elected. His election cycle ran out in 2020, according to Ballotpedia. In fact, I looked on Shreveport's whole or on their websites. They have 4 judges in Shreveport, 4 city judges, and only one of them's elected. But Shreveport claims that they're all elected. So that's weird. And they say that all of them are elected. So it's hard to trust Shreveport. I mean, I think Ballotpedia is trying to be honest about all this. They're about the only honest election cycle publication out there. And you got, I mean, this is Louisiana honesty in Shreveport about who's elected in Shreveport for just city judges. See, the judges get away with so much because they could throw you in jail, so you live in fear of their power, so they can really push the boundaries of elections. And it's like a mayor, representing the city for 2 years, but he decides to, give himself another 2 years just for fun. That's kind of what judges do. They just come back, and long after their election cycle is over, their appointment or election cycle, they just, after they're elected, they're like Putin out of Russia. Just changes their title from Tsar to president, back to Tsar, then the president, and that's how the judges operates. It's it's disturbing, and with Judge Barber, this guy, he was elected in Shreveport, so it don't matter what the Natchitoches people think, because they're outside of his election boundaries. So this is really going to get worse for me. It was bad with Owsley. Owsley got voted in by the locals, and he still is very demanding of ID and all that, really supportive of the cops. And this is a guy supported by the locals. Think about him not being supported by the locals, about the new judge not being supported by the locals. It's getting worse for me. So, because I'm sure it's going to go to trial. I'm not going to plead guilty. So that's how it's going to work. The witnesses, what's going on with them? Shanita, they're all alive. They're just in different capacities now. Shanita's still working as a court reporter, and in fact, Judge Barber has to work with Shanita. He has to work with the clerks for Natchitoches. He doesn't get to use his own clerks, as far as I understand. Shanita was the one who contacted my lawyer Phil and told him about the dates for court, because I mean the courthouse has to be open. It's 1 o'clock on the end of May. The courtroom has to be open for Judge Barber. Like, Owsley can't be using it. And how much influence is Owsley going to have on Barber? I'm sure they're going to shake hands when Barber comes down to Natchitoches. They're going to shake hands and share pleasantries with each other. And I would really love to get that on camera. That would be great. Let's see, we got my witnesses. Kristen is first. Here, Rosalind Parker. Let's see. Let me get out of this. I still have Rosalind Parker's confession. It's easy to find. It's just one of these. See, I got all this. Got all this Paducah stuff. I got their. I think I separated their video. Okay, yeah, the archive. So both Parker and yeah, there she is crying. How emotional is she now over this? We gotta go through it all over again. 2 years later. Her and I don't know how we're dealing with Jimenez exactly. Let's see. We're bringing back the witnesses. Whoops, okay. Let's see, Officer Miller, Favors, and Davis, yes. All of these. We're bringing it back. We're starting all over again. This is a new trial, and it'll be His Honor Brian Barber, another city court judge that the Supreme Court chose, who cannot hold jury trials. He is not qualified. So we're talking about low qualifications, just one step above mayor's court judges. So you got the really low end mayor's court judges, then you got city court judges and district judges. We can't even get a district judge. It has to be another city. So that's a large pool to choose from, and it's quite interesting that the city court judge picked is the same city court judge city court that my lawyer Phil is working out of. He works out of Shreveport. Like, they could carpool down to Natchitoches to Judge Owsley's courthouse together. And it's just strange to me that he has to go to Natchitoches and sit on Judge Owsley's seat. He has to sit in Judge Owsley's courtroom because Judge Owsley decided to recuse himself. Let's see, we got evidence. So we got to bring back all this evidence, a screenshot. In fact, some of my evidence that I tried to include was denied. Let's see. So, the reason that I was that this had to get started all over is I think this conversation we had right in the beginning of my trial. The Judge Owsley don't believe me because he called the the public defenders himself and said that they told him that they denied him, but did he record that conversation? Probably not. So it's a he said, she said between me and him. They just denied me, but he doesn't. That's unlikely. I don't believe that. That's unlikely. And he just kind of sticks with it that I got denied a lawyer. So that got this whole thing reset. Right there, right at the beginning of the trial, it was made clear, that he denied me. And so everything after that was where the judges said the case went the wrong way, because they didn't see any evidence of paperwork filled out for the public defender. So they said everything needs to be reset. But everything that led up to this trial, everything we argued on the motions at all these hearings is legitimate. So all these nakedish hearings are legitimate to them, and because they felt like probable cause was established. So everything up to the trial, where then I got denied, but really I got denied a lawyer throughout the whole process. So maybe it was just at the start. Right upon the arrest, I needed a lawyer and was denied. But I don't know. I think that it was the conversation I had right on the trial. I'm sure they opened up the trial transcripts and we're trying to get familiar with it, and they see this beginning conversation about Judge Owsley not believing me, trying to get a lawyer, and saying that I got denied, calling me a liar right at the start. So he didn't believe me about that, and so he clearly is not going to believe me about everything else. Believing the other people, and it was really crazy. So I want to go through this all again, all 258 pages of my trial that cost $1,200, and get familiar with it, because a lot of this information is going to come back and in maybe slightly different ways, and we're looking for consistency in the witnesses' testimony. So it would work out best for the witnesses to also get familiar with this. So I'm doing this as a benefit for the witnesses. I want them to be very familiar with my case again, because they're going to be the primary accusers, the cops and the librarians. We need to call back the dispatch who called the cops there, bring them all back, and figure this out. Brian Barber is going to do the same stuff that Judge Owsley does. They all work with the same rules. So it's going to be a bloodbath. What? And a lot of it comes down to me being there. I have to be there. I don't know if it's not made clear to me that if I have to be there for the conference call at the end of May. But that's approaching summertime. It gets hot. I don't want to be in the South in the summertime. So I would ask to have it extended until I can get until the winter returns. Not happy about it, but I mean, you know, I am facing more jail time. So that's what I'm facing, and so jail time is going to require my presence, because you know, if I get found guilty again, I'll need to report to jail, and they'll want me in their custody most likely immediately. So this is not going away, and my presence. I mean, either that, or if I don't make my presence known, then I'll get a bench warrant put out. I mean, that could be what Brian Barber does. Just simply says, "Oh, I don't see the defendant here. Bench warrant, regardless if my lawyer's there or not." Right? Isn't that kind of how it works? Bench warrant. He'll want to make it easy. If he's such a tough guy, you can expect him to do something like that. A lot of things are assumed with these city judges because they get away with so much. I mean, look at what the mayor's courts are getting away with. Okay? Mayor's courts get away with a judge being the mayor. They can tell the cops to arrest more people and then turn around and convict them as the judge. The city court is only one step above a mayor's court. Remember that. So you're looking at serious corruption with the mayor's court, and then just less corruption with the city judge. And you know, the realms that they operate in. I mean, I think they feel like they're obligated to be corrupt because they're limited. It's like you know, when you go to jail, it's more okay to get into fights because you're already limited in your movement and all of that, and you're not really allowed to get major weapons. So getting into fights is a little bit more acceptable in jail, just like conducting corruption activities is a little bit more forgivable with being a mayor. So that's what I'm facing. We got to get familiar with the trial all over again, because it's just going to be a lot of the same stuff. I'm sure I'm going to go to trial, and that's it.